Hi there, this is Steve Spurrier. You can join University of Florida Hall of Famer Shane Matthews and also the two-time SEC Player of the Year every weekday as he brings you all you need to know about the Florida Gators, including news, analysis, opinions, and some of the biggest names in sports. You can find him on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. Or you can watch him live at 8 a.m. on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter.
Good morning. It's a live edition of PodUp with Matthews in the morning, coming to you from the International Diamond Center Studios. Locations across the state of Florida, right there at Celebration Point in the heart of Gator Nation. Go check out the good folks at International Diamond Center. Today's show we'll have JC, and then we'll have Chris Harris from FloridaGators.com. The NFL draft kicked off last night. I stayed awake for about 7 picks. I know JC stayed awake, counting all his money. JC, you're on the Titan Tomorrow hotline. How did you do with your draft wagers?
Well, I think we did pretty well. We had over 8.5 offensive linemen. We said the Dolphins were going to take an offensive lineman. That's all right. We went over on the quarterbacks. That got done in the 13th pick, I should say, 13th pick. So, I think we did fine. I have to get the rundown, and I've got the wrong freaking pad here. But the bets I have on Hard Rock were profitable, and so that was a good night last night. You know, the thing I just can't get over, and I really am amazed, and I'm really impressed by the idea that 300,000 people, or so they say, would stand next to each other, basically like this, for 2.5 hours, only to see their Pittsburgh Steelers draft a guy who was on the phone from Kentucky that they'd never heard of. But hey, if this is how you're going to spend your Friday night or Thursday night in Pittsburgh, I'm all for it. Everybody was drinking beer. Everybody's having fun. And the fans up there that were close up with all the team gear that were getting to meet their draft picks, I think really benefit. I think they probably got paid to be there. It have to be. But it's a great event. It's a made-for-TV event. I could do without Booger McFarland. I don't need to listen to him and his negativity, telling us that the Los Angeles Rams, I have no idea what they're doing. Here's what they're doing, Boog. They're fighting Matthew Stafford's replacement, and Sean McVay knows better than you who can run his offense.
So again, I didn't see that pick, but I wake up this morning, get on Twitter, and apparently Sean McVay didn't care for that pick, JC. Have you seen it?
Okay, well, then I must be wrong about his input.
He did not even. So he and I don't know if it's their general manager spoke to the media. It's all over Twitter.
Okay.
McVay sat there just like this the whole time. You can almost see his head about to explode.
Well, I don't understand that because him and Les Snead are like this.
But even they said that Ty Simpson never even spoke through the draft process to Sean McVay.
Now that would surprise me.
Yeah, because JC, you're on Twitter all the time. You need to go look at it. It is crazy.
Okay.
I do not think Sean McVay won him because Sean McVay knows that he has probably the favorite to win the Super Bowl. And why not get a younger skill guy, wide receiver or somebody?
Yeah. I do think that the wide receiver that the Saints took, who is the best receiver in the draft, and maybe I'm wrong about this thing with McVay, but I just can't imagine the Rams taking their first round draft pick in years and not consulting with each other over it, because I'm not sure I believe what all I'm hearing on Twitter. But maybe it's true. I will tell you this. The kid that New Orleans drafted, Jordan Tyson, is from Arizona State, is unbelievable. It's, to me, he should have been the first wide receiver taken. Instead, it was that very good player from Ohio State, Carnell Tate. But I will tell you, this kid from Arizona State, the Saints, think about the Saints and what Kellen Moore's doing there. Is Kamara still with the Saints? Tell me, QB, is he still with the Saints? Yeah. Then you've got Travis Etienne. Then you've got Chris Olave. Now you've got this monster who's 6'6" and can do anything. The Saints, the Jets, those were two big winners last night. I believe in this draft, and I think Dallas did very well. And I think we've got some.
Jets ain't gonna do nothing with the quarterbacks they have.
Well, okay, that's true, but you got to have more than just quarterback. Zach Wilson.
They got one that can't play.
Yeah, that's a problem. But
You think Justin Fields is the answer?
No, I
Yeah,
don't
he's
think he's
terrible.
with that, but I don't think
I
he's
think he
with
is
them.
their starter. I thought he was their starter last year.
I think they let him go. I
Oh,
think
well
they
then,
cut
okay.
him.
I
But
don't
see,
know.
the
I don't
thing
keep
is,
over the
QB,
Jets.
if you look, yeah, but if you look at what they picked, they got three animals, just starting all American players. And I think they improved their team immensely because how much worse can it get? I thought Dallas did great with their defensive picks. I just, yeah, it was. I liked it. I liked the whole situation. Now, next year, we're going to have more wide receivers, more
Geno
quarterbacks.
Smith's the quarterback with the Jets, so he's back with the Jets who drafted him, right? Didn't they draft him back in the day?
Maybe, but I didn't think it was Justin Fields. So,
He was there last year. I know he was there last year.
yeah, he was, and they had absolutely nothing.
Right. That's
But
why they probably got rid of him. It's
yeah,
amazing to me how these people, well, whatever. All right.
no,
So
I got you. I hear what you're saying, but what are you going to do if you're the Jets QB? You got to improve your roster. And I get
yeah,
it. This is not a quarterback heavy draft at all. And so the best quarterback was taken. So how are the Jets going to respond to that? They're going to take an edge rusher who can
yeah,
disrupt everybody. I like who they picked. I thought David Bailey is outstanding.
he is a good
And
player. He's a very good
gosh,
player.
he's very
Transferred
good.
from Stanford and to Texas Tech.
Yes. Yes.
Franklin says on YouTube, brought to you by Quality Plum, would Trask be better than Fields? JC would be better than Fields. I just don't know why
He's
they thought
awful.
that guy could play quarterback because
He's
he's
a
strong arm, he can run around, but he can't hit a freaking 12-yard curl route. All right.
That's right.
Or
He's
the
good on
hit, or the
fantasy
play.
football. He's good with fantasy football if he's healthy because he can get you
Yeah, he
yards.
just runs around. It's just, it ain't football.
It's-
All right. So
it's-
Frederick says on the Take Tomorrow text line, this is for you, JC. Pittsburgh broke the all-time round one attendance record with
I know.
320,000
I,
fans,
I can't
topping the
believe
275,000 fans who attended Detroit in
it blows my mind.
2024.
Blows my mind. Blows my mind.
I do believe that they pay those people that dress up in all those silly outfits.
Yes, I agree with you there. They have to. They have to. And here's
Yeah.
the thing: these folks, these draft picks that come down off the stage get to high five all those people first before they go anywhere. And Laura Rutledge, your former Florida Gator journalism communication student, was tremendous. She did such a good job with the questions. It's not an easy thing to do. She had such great preparation and just asked so many really heartfelt questions. And she got emotion out of these kids that were reacting to how their life just changed. And she got some real answers from them. And I was so touched by Caden Proctor of the Miami Dolphins, who's an offensive lineman. He was their first pick, outstanding pick for the Dolphins. And then, of course, that Jordan Tyson from Arizona State with New Orleans. Those two guys were so emotional and just really let their hearts out there. And I really enjoy seeing the human side of the draft. It makes it worth it to me. It's not just a bunch of names and players. These kids are having their life really literally transformed overnight. And this kid who got drafted by the Steelers from Kentucky, who was on the phone, just couldn't hold back. And he had all his family. I just think that's the attraction for me to watch this. And now they're going to go through the second, third, and fourth round all in a day, basically today. And all of those rounds are important too. But that is a very good televised event because I had a hockey game on last night. My team lost, which did not surprise me because yesterday I said that the Buffalo Sabres, if they got a lead on the Bruins, would win the game, and they did. And so even though they were down 1-0, the Sabres tied the game. Their goalie was unbelievable. This kid came out of nowhere for the Buffalo Sabres, saved their season literally, and made some incredible saves. And now they're up 2-1. Colorado's up 3-0. They beat LA last night again. And the hockey playoffs are what they are. Carolina's up 3-0 on Ottawa. That's going to be over. And your Atlanta Hawks, QB, your Atlanta Hawks.
I like the Hawks. Is Dominique playing for them?
Your Atlanta Hawks with Tree Rawlings and Steve Hawes and Dominic Wilson.
Reggie Theus?
Well, I don't know if he played for them, but
I think he did. He played for about everybody in the league.
Okay. They beat the Knickerbockers, who are once again showing us why they're the biggest chokers in the NBA. But another good thing that happened last night was the Boston Red Sox are the worst team in baseball. Got swept by the Yankees. That is always a good day, a good night. And my Yanks are in first place. So take that.
Silverback Concrete builds firm foundations for generations. You stand on it, we stand by it. All right, couple of YouTubers here. Surviving Three Daughters says on YouTube, brought to you by Chloe Plum. QB, are you going to be the walkout guest at Morgan Wallen's concert at the Swamp? I can't tell. I can't tell. No, maybe if his concert was in 1990s, early 90s, maybe yes. I'm going to put my money on, if you can do this, JC. Tell me if you can. Who's going
Okay.
to walk out? I'm going to put Coach Spurrier and Todd Golden are my two choices. It's a two-night concert.
It's definitely going to be.
I can't wait. It's going to be outstanding.
It's going to be Steve Spurrier. Make sure Morgan stays sober the night before, though.
I don't think he drinks anymore, JC.
Thank God. That's a great thing.
He's out of control if he does.
That's a good thing.
Justin says on YouTube, QB, you talked about being projected as the third quarterback in the draft, but ultimately went undrafted. Were you given Foley? Now you coach quarterbacks for the Lions. Brunel had the longest, but there was four of us that went over like 13, 14 years.
Well, yeah, and that's an amazing
But again,
career.
It goes back to a lot of even if these executives, they look at stuff to me that does not have anything to do with playing the quarterback position. All right.
Well, I would also be remiss, QB, if we didn't mention the fact that now the Florida Fighting Gators have a first rounder in 6 of the last 7 drafts. And I mentioned this to you the other day on Wednesday. I said, do you think Caleb Banks is going to get it?
Yeah.
And listen, he got
they rolled the dice on the injury bug.
And I don't mind that, because they probably looked at his foot in so many ways. And for big people, foot injuries are a lot worse than for little people, I think. And basically Caleb Banks is now a Minnesota Viking and really showed some emotion last night where he was. I think he was in was he in Miami? He was down somewhere. Anyway, he and his family get to celebrate this. And it's really great because, this is a bad break for Caleb. He only played, 3 games? 3 games for the Fighting Gators, QB? Caleb Banks last year?
Previous year, but last year it wasn't
many games. It wasn't many games. And I think if you go on X and you follow our fantastic Edgar Thompson, he's got a piece on there. But to take Edgar's tweet here, this is the first defensive tackle off the board. First Gators defensive tackle to go in the first round since Taven Bryan in 2018.
Went to the Jags.
And he is the highest.
For a cup of coffee.
And he's the highest draft pick from Florida since the great Gerard Ward, who was number
Big Money.
3. Big Money was number 3.
Big Money was a badass man.
Yeah, he was number 3 in 2001. That's our Union County Lake Butler Tiger.
Yes,
so
he played for a long time in the league.
Yeah, he was great. So Big Gerard, that's a long time ago, 25 years ago. And then, of course, my guy who went to Ohio State after we lost to Michigan, Caleb Downs, goes to Dallas. Dallas traded up to get him, just one spot. And I think Dallas was a winner last night. They improved their defense immensely last night with him and the other kid.
The Ohio State guys are very good players.
Yes, Caleb Downs is a fantastic player. Freshman starter for Nick Saban's defense. Played in the Rose Bowl against Michigan, and then transferred to Ohio State, won a natty. And then how the Buckeyes didn't win it all last year is beyond me with all these players they had picked in the first round.
Agreed. John says on Facebook Live, brought to you by Mel Law, he put Tebow as one of the choices of walkout guests at the concert. I agree, but not living local, I don't know. Tebow, he's a very busy man.
Very busy.
He may show up.
Doing a lot of charity.
I would say probably not, but he might. Andy's question on Facebook Live, brought to you by Mel Law. The Raiders also signed All-Pro center Tyler Linderbaum to help Mendoza. Can you speak how important Olin Kreutz was to your success with the Bears? Having a good center is definitely important for the quarterback, because if you have a smart center, he can help make a lot of calls for the quarterback when you have so many responsibilities. So having an all-pro center will definitely help Fernando.
Oh, it absolutely will. And listen, when Tom Brady says you are his guy, yeah, he knows. And this Fernando's got a great head on his shoulders. Smart kid, talented. He can hit the windows. QB, you liked him, right? I mean, you thought he was quite good, did you not?
Fernando?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's very, very smart, accurate with the football.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be a great pro.
I do too.
I
I
really
do
do.
too. I'm just really happy for the Saints, though. I think they've overcome some of their salary cap issues, and they've got Kellen Moore knows what he's doing, man. He's a good offensive play caller, and watch what the Saints do. Who's taking the snaps for the Saints, QB? That's your team.
It's I can't pronounce it. It's kind of like I don't know why his Sloughh.
Sloth, Tyler Sloth.
I don't think they pronounce it that way.
Sloth,
It's kind of
Sloth.
like Thomas Houck.
Hoff,
it's not
Thomas
pronounced the
Hoff.
way it's spelled.
It's not Hoff.
No, I don't know, but that's who their quarterback
That
is.
really bothers you, doesn't it, when their names are
Yeah, it's
not
very
pronounced?
very bizarre.
Yeah.
I mean, it's how do you get Houck out of Haugh?
Uh, well, I mean, how do some people spell Matthews with one T? I mean,
Oh, that drives me insane when I see that. So
anyway.
MSRK says the Saints need a QB. This kid's a pretty good player. He had a
Oh,
really good,
no,
he played really well for a I was going to say a
yeah,
true freshman. As a rookie last year at
no,
times.
he did. And I look, I really believe this with quarterbacks. If you've got the right guy coaching you and calling plays and doing the things that you're good at and adapting to what you're strong at as a quarterback, because not every quarterback's the same, of course, then you're going to be successful. And Kellen Moore, I think, knows what he's doing. I just think there were some really overwhelming winners last night in the draft that tremendously upgraded their team. And some of the other teams just kind of went through the motions. I like Ruben Bain to Tampa. Ruben had no problem telling everybody on the stage he was the best player in the draft. He had no problem. He was all business. Whatever. And I don't care about his short arms. I don't even know what that means. This guy is a great
Well, dude,
player.
it goes back to they worry about the measurables, how big your
Okay.
hand size is, your arm, your wingspan.
Yeah.
They look at so much stuff. It's crazy.
Yeah.
We all know someone's stacking gold and silver, and for good reason. It's been one of the smartest financial moves out there, a true safe haven as the dollar loses value. More Americans than ever are investing in gold, silver, and copper and platinum. Go visit moneymetals.com and check out their monthly automatic purchase plan. That's moneymetals.com. All right, JC. God, where's this question I wanted to bring up? Anyway, we'll find it here in a second. So you have honestly, somebody on here wanted to know my thoughts on the Rams taking Ty Simpson. I think Ty Simpson has a chance to be a decent little quarterback in that league, especially a backup for a while. But you have got to Google it, JC,
I
and look
will.
at Sean McVay. That
I will.
dude is so pissed off.
Okay. I was wrong then. I thought he wanted him.
I
I
don't think he
always
did at all.
I don't understand that because him and Les Snead are like this, and that doesn't make sense to me. And Stan Kroenke's the owner. The Rams are fine. They improved their defense immensely with free agency coming out of the Chiefs. They took the entire Kansas City defensive backfield, basically the two corners, moved them to Los Angeles. McDuffie, Trent McDuffie, he's all pro. All right, so the Rams got help on the defensive side. They have. The only thing I think they're maybe lacking is at the wide receiver position, but you got Puka Nacua. I don't think Devontae Adams is done. I mean,
But it would be nice to have like a young speedster, and I bet that's what Sean McVay wanted.
probably.
That's just my thought. Yeah. So he's playing the Sean McVay. He really answered, I think, like he had like 3-word answers for about 3 questions in the press conference.
Oh, that's not good. That's not good because he usually gives you a good
Yeah.
soundbite. Well, listen, Ty Simpson's a smart kid, and Ty Simpson's a kid that if he had played for those Nick Saban teams with that AJ McCarron played on, that some of these other Tua Tagovailoa played on with all those wide receivers, so many wide receivers. They say Ohio State was wide receiver U, but Alabama was too, from 2010 to 2019. And the thing is that if he had the help that those guys had at quarterback, then yeah, he would have had better numbers. He had no run support last year. I mean, 0. There's the worst running game Alabama's had in decades. He had one wide receiver. The other kid didn't want to catch the football because he was afraid to get hit. That was Ryan Williams. But he had Jeremy Bernard, but Jeremy was not a separation type of wide receiver. He was a guy that could just get open and fight for a ball. But Ty Simpson had very little to go with on the offensive side of the ball and still beat Georgia in Athens and still won a game at Oklahoma in the playoffs. If you give him help and you give him good coaching, he can step up in the pocket. He's mobile. He's accurate. I think it's a good pick because somebody is going to replace a 39-year-old quarterback at some point.
That's true,
Yeah.
but I think Sean McVay, even though he's still very young, I think whenever Matt Stafford is done, I just feel like he's the coach that's going to go find a proven guy, just insert into his system. He ain't got time and ain't going to waste time to try to develop guys. That's just my gut feeling on it. But you have to go
I will. I
watch.
am. I'll do that right after I get off. Yeah.
Andy's question on Facebook Live brought to you by Mello. Were you surprised two running backs, both from Notre Dame, were drafted in the first round? Their backfield was loaded. Jeremiah Love isn't. We talked with Steve Palazzolo about it. He's an elite player. JC, I'm going to ask you what I asked Steve Palazzolo. If you had to start a franchise, who would be your starting? Who would you start at running back? Who would you want as your running back in your franchise?
Good heavens.
He and I both had the same guy.
Well, I tell you what, I won't pick the guy you guys have. I'll pick
Well, you don't
someone
even
else.
know who it is, do you?
Well, just tell me who you picked.
We both picked Bijan Robinson.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, from Atlanta. That's a good pick. Gosh,
Okay,
I would take Jahmyr Gibbs. I mean, I could go with him.
Jahmyr Gibbs is a good player.
Yeah, I would take Jahmyr Gibbs. There's
player.
your answer. I just didn't want to say the same guy that you and Steve said, but Jahmyr Gibbs does it all for Detroit. I mean, Dan Campbell loves him, and so does Jared Goff. He catches, he runs, he does it all. Concepcion, yeah, you're right. Silent 23-47. KC Concepcion would have been a better selection for the Rams. I agree with that. It would have been. That kid's a great player.
He's also a punt returner. Would have helped him because their guy kept dropping punts last year.
Yeah, I think that's a good call there from Silent J. I don't know, man. I just got to trust the front office. Snee has made a lot of great decisions for the Rams without draft picks. The benefit of that, they've gone through free agency at the expense of draft picks in the last 8 years, and they've done fairly well, I'd say. But yeah, I know it was a controversial pick. I won't deny that. We'll see how it goes for him. We'll see how it goes.
We got some text here. This is from Frank in Chicago. He says he has so much trouble finding Gator baseball on TV. Is there a radio station that has broadcasts that I could tap into consistently? Yeah. So Frank, you need to download the WRUF ESPN app, and you can listen to Cardozo and Russell and that whole crew.
So
for whatever reason you can't get that one, go to the Varsity app. The Varsity app, you can pick up every Gator baseball, football, and basketball game on the Varsity app. It's free. It's free.
Am I going out too far by saying that this is the biggest weekend in the Gator baseball season?
Playing at A&M?
No, they're coming. I thought they were coming here. Is that wrong?
Well, anyway, we're playing A&M. I don't know where it is, but
God, how the hell do we not know where it is, QB?
Because I've been very busy, JC.
Okay. Hey, man, those scrambles at Lake Nona do take it out of you. I understand. It's a long way to go to play a shamble. But listen, I think this is a huge weekend for the baseball team. They have got to get this personality disorder under control before we get into the serious games. Now, maybe it's all going to get serious when they get to the serious games, which is coming up here in May. But we're almost done with April. This A&M team is hot. And once again, just like when they went to Georgia, Georgia was the hottest team in the league, and Florida won 2 out of 3. Huge. Okay, let's see.
It is in Gainesville.
Okay, so that's good. I think that's good. I don't know if that's good. Ole Miss came in here and smoked them. Auburn came in here and smoked them. JU comes in here and smoked them. Bethune-Cookman comes in here and smokes them. Everybody smokes them at Condron. So
maybe we need to play them at Diamond Sports Park.
Well, I think we ought to play them at the Boys Club or something. I mean, get us somewhere where we don't have a disadvantage playing. And maybe this ballpark isn't good for the Gators. I don't know what the answer is, but you just can't keep losing these home games. It's debilitating, demoralizing. But maybe going on the road is a good thing for this team. Get them focused better. Who the hell knows? I don't know. Nobody knows. They need something. But a weekend like this against A&M could set them on the right track. I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful, but I don't know.
JC, a couple of texts before we get you out of here. Time flies by. Daryl on the Titan Mar text line says he's glad to be listening to the show. He's been assisting fires in Clay County. God bless you, Daryl. Be safe.
Edwin. Okay. Yes, Daryl, take care of yourself.
All right. So JC, here's a good text for you on the Titan Mar text line from Rick and Jupiter.
Okay.
JC, what do you think about the special ops soldier who put $33,000 on the Maduro would be ousted and has since been arrested?
Well,
Gambling sites are getting out of hand. I think
well,
he's about to get involved after
no,
Saquon was
I tell you what,
I thought he won $400,000.
he won 400,000, and I'm on the side of Anna Paulina Luna, our great representative from St. Petersburg, by simply saying, listen, if they can inside trade up on Capitol Hill, then why are we killing this guy for doing something legal? So, I don't have a call. I think you can do whatever you want with your money, and I understand why he's in trouble. But I think, with all of the shenanigans and corruption on Capitol Hill, especially with the insider trading, it is rampant, and nobody ever gets held accountable for it. I don't want to be a hypocrite and say this guy deserves what he's getting. I think he's going to get pardoned, and I think we're going to forget about it, and nobody else is going to get caught doing it. But if it's legal, and it is, well, what's the problem? And the thing is that insider trading is not legal. And apparently we don't have a problem with that on Capitol Hill. That's what bothers me, folks. But I will tell you that good for him. He won some money. He's got to give it all back, and now he's in trouble. That's too bad. But listen, guys, I just think that this weekend is so big for the baseball team. If they get jacked up this weekend and lose, I think it's a tailspin. Now, I hope I'm not right about that, but I'm hopeful that they can beat up on A&M. A&M's good, though. This is a good baseball team coming in here.
All right, this day in sports brought to you by Campus USA Credit Union. Put some star power to work in your financial life at Campus USA Credit Union. We're proud members, Stephen Orr Spurrier Banks. 2004 NFL Draft, Ole Miss quarterback Eli Manning was the first pick by the Chargers. He said, I ain't going there.
I ain't going there. Those Mannings, boy, they sure do dictate what they get to do. But,
well, I talked to Steve about this because he was talking about next year's draft.
Yeah.
And the Jets are probably going to have to take a quarterback.
Yeah.
And he thinks Arch will probably be the first pick. I'm like, there ain't no way in hell Archie's going to allow Arch to
just
go
goes
play
back
for the New York Jets.
Yeah, it goes back to the John Elway thing when he said no when he was drafted. I don't know the precedent, how it was sent that allows that to happen, but listen, the Mannings can do whatever the damn Mannings want. They run the whole world basically. So gosh, I don't know. Aiden King tonight, brother. That's what we need to think about around here is Aiden King.
All right, so, JT, enjoy your weekend, and we'll talk about Sean McVay, how pissed off he is about you drafting your quarterback.
I will. And real quick, on our golf picks, I do have Billy Horschel and Tom Hoagie right there tied for 6. Let's go. Zurich Classic.
Don't I have Aaron Ryan?
Yep. Aaron Ryan, Heath Thigala are tied for 13th, which there's a very short margin between 6th and 13th. So you're right there as well. This is a cool tournament, but not the big name. Next week they play in Doral. I think you'll have more big names there. And then they go to Quail Hollow. Everybody will be there. And then we go to the PGA.
They haven't played in Doral in a while, have they?
No, they haven't. This is the Cadillac Open in a couple next week at Doral. Then it's Quail Hollow. Everybody's going to play in that. And then we go to the PGA Championship, which is in I just looked at it. The U.S. Open's in Philadelphia. Philadelphia. PGA's near Philadelphia. U.S. Open is at Shinnecock. So there's your golf calendar for the next month.
All right. Have a good weekend. That's JC. Join us on the Titan More Highline. We'll take a quick timeout. Come back. We'll be joined by Chris Harry. You're watching and listening to PodUp with Matthews in the morning from the International Diamond Center studio.
Go Yankees.
Back.
Our premium sponsors are Atlantic Roofing, Campus USA Credit Union, International Diamond Center, J.F. Hayden's Craft Liqueurs, Los Landeros Tequila, Meldon Law, Titan MRI and Imaging, Castaway Sauce, UF Health Orthopedics, Michael Schneider PLLC, Florida Legends Gala and Experience, Money Metals, Sensei Asian Bistro. Our gridiron sponsors are Baker Sports, Florida Cracker Oyster, Gallo Car Wash, Miapa Latin Cafe, Peachland Dental, Quality Plumbing, Rue's Ogre State Farm, Silverback Concrete, 84 Lumber, Big Mills Cheesesteaks, Celebrate Primary Care, Gator Bait Media, Florida Cracker Kitchen, Gator Dominoes, Ironwood Golf Course, McDonald's of Gainesville, Tropical Smoothie Cafe, UF Bookstores, International Gold and Diamond, Advocare, and MGA&A Wealth. Watch and listen to us live on Facebook or YouTube. Listen to podcasts wherever, on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. Remember to like, follow, and subscribe so you don't miss an episode. And to advertise, be sure to call my man Freddie at 352-284-5600. 3733.
Hi there, this is Coach Steve Spurrier, and I want to let you know that by popular demand, Spurrier's Gridiron Grill's delicious brunch is now served in a premium buffet. You have spoken, we have listened, and we're now serving Gainesville's only elevated buffet complete with an omelet station, ginger sage chicken sausage, shredded short rib, plus you can enjoy bottomless mimosas and Bloody Marys. So join us every Saturday and Sunday from 11 to 3 for the best brunch in town.
The jewelry store with the most likes, the most positive reviews, the most raving fans is International Diamond Center.
IDC is definitely a place that I will come to as long as I live here. This will be my go-to place always.
Literally the best jewelry store in town. You'll make friends for life coming in here. I felt like family from the beginning. The value was extraordinary.
I've got a beautiful diamond on my finger, and I'm very proud of it.
International Diamond Center.
I'm very happy to show it off.
At Celebration Point and online at shopidc.com.
Gainesville's best-kept secret is finally being revealed. Introducing Sensei Asian Bistro. Located in Celebration Point next to Spurrier's Gridiron Grill, Sensei delivers a one-of-a-kind Japanese-French fusion experience that's as refined as it is unforgettable. Indulge in signature dishes like our smoked New York strip, Chilean sea bass, matcha curry, or the crave-worthy chunggang chili chicken. Pair it all with handcrafted cocktails, fresh crudo oysters, or our premium A5 Wagyu tataki. Sensei Asian Bistro. Make your reservation today.
Naysayers, setbacks, injuries. Life throws a lot of hurdles your way. The key is just keep jumping them.
Welcome back to the International Diamond Center Studios. Miapa's proud to sponsor Gator Athletics at all Gator baseball home games. When the Gators win, you win a free cup of Cuban coffee from any Miapa location. To show your ticket, go Gators, go Miapa. Back to the Titan More Hotline. It's our man Chris Harry from FloridaGators.com. Hail to the Redskins. Who'd y'all pick last night, Chris?
Sonny Styles, linebacker,
Ooh.
Ohio State.
Ooh, I like that pick.
You like him?
I like all those Ohio State players.
He was I'm always skeptical of combine warriors, you know. Apparently, like, he did stuff like
he's
people hadn't
ridiculous.
done at the combine in 25 years or whatever.
Yeah.
But can he tackle? Can he cover a tight end?
Yeah, he's pretty good. You're gonna like that pick. Do you like the new uniforms the Redskins are going to?
I'm fine. I'm fine with those things. I mean,
they're looking more like the Redskins.
did you like the Redskin uniforms when you put them on?
I did.
Did you like those throwbacks, like to
I love the
the
throwbacks.
60s, the ones with the arrow and
spears?
stuff?
Yeah, I liked it. I liked it. I thought it was cool.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. All right, so let's talk hoops. Obviously, would you say the roster is set right now, Chris?
I think there'll be some additions. They got to get to the number of 15. They have to address. Let's say Ruben comes back.
Okay.
They have to address the big situation, and I think it's being addressed. The replacing Micah Hanlofton, that you know, and if Ruben doesn't come back, then you know they will have to do some stuff. But I'm kind of optimistic that he's doing stuff. You remember, he went in the NBA process last year and got some really positive feedback about what he had to do to get better, and he did all those things. And I think it's a good move to do it again. And if he can make a commensurate jump like he did last year, especially with that little jump hook of his, some other things that maybe he can get better, which he can get better. That's going to be a good move for him.
Has Micah signed with anybody? I haven't seen him.
Micah has not signed with anybody.
Okay. We got a text here on the Titan MR text line. It says, it's from Jimmy. Chris, there are reports out there all over Twitter that Tommy's getting $10 million. Is that true?
I don't know the exact figure for that. Tommy will be fairly compensated. I think Twitter can agree on that, if anything else. I wouldn't be surprised if, you know how you watched, and I'm sure you were glued to the NCAA tournament, right? Even after the Gators were out, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, you know how those, you saw commercials of UConn women's basketball team, of the Boozer twins,
Right.
Solo Ball. Solo Ball had I don't know if it was AT&T or what it was. I wouldn't be surprised, and I don't know this for a fact, but if Thomas Houck is going to be one of the faces of college basketball next season, and there may be some elements to that would make him that would help financially put money in his pocket on that front.
Speaking of Solo Ball, and again, you can't believe everything you read on Twitter, but he had wrist surgery. He's already sitting out next year.
Well, they announced he's sitting out next season. If you recall, we'll see what happens, because if you recall, when Micah had his injury, they announced he was coming back and he'd sit out next season, and things change on that front. But maybe it's a complicated surgery. I don't know. I know I talked to our trainer about it. He said he was a little, he said that's not unusual, but again, a lot can happen on front. That guy's a really, really good player, obviously.
Yes,
so if he's not going to be back, I wouldn't be. I mean, I wouldn't be. I would be shocked if he's not back by halfway through the season. But I have no idea what I'm talking about. I admit that, but I don't think Solo Ball is going to be in college the next 2 years. I don't think so.
No, he's an NBA guy for sure. It must be. Obviously, it's got to be his shooting wrist for them to even say that. Text here on the Titan More text line from Gator Josh from Wamama. I heard Ali was asking for $3 million in NIL. Do you think he plays for a big time program this next season? No,
I don't think Ali was asking for $3 million. I don't know that to be sure, but Ali will have some visits straightened out, and the best thing for him were some visits coming up. I think the ideal situation for him was to drop down a level. He can only play so many minutes at a time.
Yeah.
He's not going to be a program maker, but he can go to a low major team and be an impact, of course, and be a national sensation. People will be, wherever he goes, there'll be national writers going in to do stories about him, assuming he's playing.
Yeah. Silent J on YouTube, brought to you by Quality Plum, says, Chris, I know the theme is we haven't addressed the outside shooting. I believe we have the kids. My concern is more, will Todd take advantage of the talent and switch to a 10-man rotation?
Todd loves his 8-man rotation. I would be hard pressed to see that happening, because I know what he likes. I won't rule it out, though. A lot of people talk about shooting, of course. I think the answer that I think that the shooting will be fine. Denzel Aberdeen is a career best 3-point shooting season last year at 37%. Boogie Flan was not very good, but Boogie Flan was also 46% his last 9 games from the 3-point line. So my point to that is, I think Isaiah Brown came on. I think he ended up being around 40% from the 3-point line. Thomas tailed off a little bit toward the end of the season from 3. My answer to these quote 3-point shooting concerns is pretty simple: shoot it better, because they're all capable of shooting the ball a lot better than they were. I remember last year there was I think it was after the Duke game. I think it was one of those games where Xavier Lee was about 1 of 9 from 3, and he was around 20%. I think Todd just looked at him and go, Boogie, or excuse me, X, you got to make some shots now. You're a shooting guard. Make some shots, okay? And some things kind of changed after that with how he went about his business, maybe some sense of urgency, and maybe it's all about confidence. Boogie Flan went through a tough stretch of shooting. I think at one point he was like 1 of 22 or 1 of 24 in the middle of the season, and he figured things out. That's a Torian Green thing, and those guys need to go into the season a lot more confident shooting the ball than they did last year.
Go back. Boogie, didn't he hurt his wrist at Arkansas?
Yeah, he had wrist surgery that kept him out of the summer.
It's his release wrist or the other one? Do you know?
I think it was his shooting hand, but I won't swear to that right now.
Yeah.
But
Because he was a good
Maybe
shooter at Arkansas.
he was okay. I think he was 34% from three.
Yeah.
He also missed half the season that year with that wrist injury.
Yeah. MSRK, I think he asked me this question the other day, and I told him the answer, or maybe it was somebody else. He says, "Who is the point guard, Fland or Aberdeen?" It is Boogie Fland as the point guard. It's not even close.
Yes. And when Boogie's not in, yes, Denzel can take reps on the ball like he did as when he was Walt's backup. But a lot of times Denzel played off the ball on that team. Also, people seem to forget about that. Walt and Denzel were on the floor a lot 2 years ago.
Andy's question on Facebook Live brought to you by Mel. Chris, do you think CJ Ingram and Alex Lloyd will be getting more serious minutes next year?
I think if there's one of those two, it would probably be CJ Ingram. But at the same time, I mean, I think Isaiah Brown distinguished himself as Thomas Houck's the guy, his backup. So that's CJ's position. Also, I guess both of those guys are 2-3s, if you would. CJ, I thought really. I mean, this guy is in the gym every day. He and Alex Lloyd are kind of like Tommy and Alex Condon. They're best boys. I think they're roommates. They're together all the time, and they're together every day in the gym. So if they don't get more playing time, it won't be because they're not working hard. But for CJ Ingram not to explore, maybe looking elsewhere, maybe he's told something along those lines that you are definitely in the plans next season. But I mean, not one of these guys are coming back as much as dipped a toe in the transfer portal. So that's a testament to the relationship they have with the coaches and maybe what they have with this team next season.
Florida Cracker Oyster Bar and Grill is the ultimate spot for seafood and more. No matter the occasion, they're ready to welcome you Florida Cracker style. Check them out in Keystone Heights. Chris,
have you ever been to any of these places that you like?
Yeah.
That sounds like a good place. Have you been to that place?
I have not been to the one in Keystone Heights. They just opened that not too long ago, maybe a year now. But I have been to the one down in the Brooksville area. It's awesome.
What's it called?
Florida Cracker.
Florida Cracker. Okay.
Yeah, it's just called the Florida Cracker down in Brooksville. It's the Florida Cracker Oyster Bar, I believe, over in Keystone. So next time you're driving through Keystone, stop and tell them.
Yeah.
So Silent J says here, Chris, assuming Ruben, I guess, returns based on an 8-man rotation, who sits? We're wasting talent. But again, I think people need to realize we have a lot of people sitting on the football team that are good players. You're at the University of Florida. There's going to be a lot of good players that don't have an opportunity to play.
Yeah.
I think playing more than 8 is too many personally in basketball.
You like 8.
I do like 8. I do like 8.
Mm-hmm.
So if looking at the roster right now, there's only one person that's going to have an opportunity to fit into that 8 since Micah was in it, right?
Right.
So there's going to be people that will get playing.
Micah and Xavier. So you pencil in obviously Denzel for the Xavier spot, and now you're looking for somebody to take Micah's place. Correct.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. Well.
Okay. But at the same time, I'm at practice every day. Obviously, AJ Brown can shoot the ball, man. He had a proven track record as a shooter. Now, granted, it was in what was it? No, I don't know if it was Missouri Valley Conference, whatever conference.
He's in the MAC.
Ohio,
he was in that league with Miami, Ohio.
Yeah. Okay. Was it the MAC? Is the MAC? I kept thinking Missouri Valley for some reason, or Ohio Valley Conference or whatever. Excuse me, but I mean, he wants to play. He's coming back. I mean, his brother obviously wants to play. Kovachov's coming back. I don't think Kovachov has a realistic chance to be in the mix of that. But I mean, all these guys want to play. I think they're going to end up bringing in a couple of the guys to fill out the roster. They're going to have plans with both of them, but they're going to open up the competition. I did people think realistically last year that Urban Cloudstars would be 6th man of the year in the SEC? So there's he stepped up and had a fantastic season coming off the bench. His role, I think, will be very similar. So we'll see where some of these other roles go.
Yeah, Andy brings up a good point here for people that don't really follow golf. Gator golf, third round of the SEC tournaments today. We look like we're in good shape to advance into match play. But he says we have 8 or 9 great golfers, but only 5 can play.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're at Florida. Everybody can't play. All right, Chris, let's switch gears real quick before we run out of time. Softball.
Switch gears. What are we switching to? Okay.
Switching to softball. I would say they lose a bad one. Boy, they hit into too many double plays the other night against Florida State. They play Florida State again here Tuesday night. But I know you've been busy with basketball, but now you start covering a little bit of softball. This team goes as far as Keegan Rothrock, in my opinion. I think they're pretty good they're very good offensively, even though they only scored 1 run the other night. They had plenty of opportunities. But what do you like about this team compared to any other Tim's teams?
Well, I think they are hitting the hell out of the ball.
Yeah.
I did, to your point though. Also, I think they had. I think when I turned the game on the other day, I think at one point they had, I want to say 7 or 8 hits and they only had 1 run.
Yeah.
It was similar to the game they lost to Auburn the week before. I went to that game and they had runners at second and third twice with no outs and didn't score. That was their first time they'd been shut out at home in more than 2 years. So those were some uncharacteristic things. But my goodness gracious, Taylor Shoemaker, man, she's incredible. Excuse me, Jocelyn Erickson having another one of those. Both those girls are well over 400 hitting right now. I don't know, has Florida ever had 2 400 hitters in the same season? I mean, they're both around 450 or something like that. I think Taylor Shoemaker may be pushing 500. So what I like about them is of course that their ability to hit the ball. And again, you said Keegan Rothrock. It reminds me a couple years ago, I guess it was 2 years ago when they made it to the College World Series semifinals. Keegan Rothrock pitched every postseason game. That's hard. It's and you can get away with it to some degree, but 4 or 5 innings, every game is that's gonna wear on a pitcher. That's why Tim, I think, went to Leah Stevens, I think, and actually said after one of the games, we need another pitcher if we're going to make a deep run.
Yeah.
Ava Brown would normally be that pitcher. She's still coming back from that injury. So
has she pitched at all since her injury?
No,
she just
has
bats.
not.
Okay.
She just hits. She does when she gets on base. They pinch run for her. She's been doing some stuff in the bullpen, but she hasn't. As of last week, she had not pitched any live batters. I don't know if that's changed, but if there's another pitcher that they may try to go to, it's probably her. But it's going to be on there and her timeline.
Yeah, she's crucial, and I know it looked really bad when she had that injury. It's great that she's back.
It is,
but we need her bat to come. She was a tremendous hitter, and she's not hitting like she used to. And
that's right.
If you watch that Florida State game, I mean, she had opportunities to drive people in multiple times and grounded into a couple of double plays. But it's one of his best hitting teams he's had. And if Rothrock can get it done, this team has an opportunity to go deep, even though the Southeastern Conference is just brutal. I mean, just brutal in every sport. We talk about it all the time in this program. Doesn't matter.
Have you been out there up in your spot in the left field lounge or whatever?
I told somebody this the other day. It sounds terrible. I used to go all the time,
right?
But now, in my older age, I've gotten busier. So now it's like a foregone conclusion, right? We're going to win a bunch of games. So I'm that guy that shows up for postseason play. I'm that guy. I'm that fan, right?
You're the churchgoer who goes on Christmas and Easter.
No, I'm not that way. But that's a great analogy. That's kind of what I am with Lady Gator softball. But I love it. I think it's one of the best sports, if not the best sport on campus.
Excellent.
And, Tim's done a phenomenal job. No question about it. All right, Chris. I want to ask you: were you surprised Caleb Banks went first round?
No, I was maybe not surprised he went first round, but was he 18th to Minnesota?
Yeah,
that seemed a little high. And then I guess Booger McFarland was talking, or just you didn't see him last year. What did he only play 3 games last year? Because of injury or whatever. Let's go back and look at him the year before, especially the LSU game. He was, and I'd kind of forgotten about that because there weren't a lot of highlights over the course of the last few years here. But he was fantastic that game. And I guess there was he 366. Is that what somebody said? Is that how much he is?
I don't know.
Is he that big?
I hope he doesn't weigh that much.
Okay, good. But I mean, just a massive guy inside who can move around and is quick or whatever. And I mean, finally, I went into this draft thinking the Gators probably wouldn't have a first round draft pick, but I thought he maybe might go in the second round, just in my limited knowledge of it. But the fact he went 18th, the guy's going to make a nice little rookie paycheck. Good for him.
Yeah, very good for him. You just never know with guys that have had a lot of injuries, issues, what's going to happen in the draft.
That's right.
Good thing for him. The Vikings said, you know what? We like what we've seen. We will take you and roll the dice. Go Gators from Dallas on YouTube, brought to you by Quality Plumber, says, but you are superstitious about going to the Women's College World Series. I've been twice. And both times that I went, we lost in the championship series. So I will never go back.
I just breaking news, Shane. Them losing in the championship series had nothing to do with whether you were there or not.
I know,
okay.
But
okay. So why would you be any? I've seen him win 2 and also seen him go 2 and out. So why are you any more special than me?
I'm not, but at least you've been 4 times and they've won twice.
No, I've been like 9.
Oh, 9. Yeah, you've been a bunch of times. Well, yeah. I've been twice and we're 0 for 2 in the not just in the 2 in a barbecue. We're 0-2 in the championship series.
Right. Oh.
We lost to Washington, Danielle Laurie, and I think the other time was Arizona. Did we lose to Arizona State?
In the championship series? Maybe.
I can't remember.
I don't remember.
Andy says Caleb is listed at 327.
327. Okay. That's much better than 366. But if he's 366 and moving around like that, it would have been impressive.
Yeah. All right, Chris, good stuff as always. You got any stuff on the website? Any good stories going on?
I'm hashing some stuff out. Did you know that the University of Florida has taken its health and strength and nutrition and all, and they're going to rebrand it under a new something called performance. It's going to be now a performance umbrella, and I'm kind of talking to some people to write about something along those lines. But it's one of those off-season stories that you find every now and then. So that's the next one maybe people can look for.
Good stuff as always. All right, well, go ahead and order your Sunny Styles.
Sunny Styles.
Get his,
I'm not a jersey guy.
All right. Appreciate your time, Chris.
See you, man.
Have a good weekend, my man.
All right, Shane. Take care.
Chris Harry joins us on the Titan More Hotline. Castaway Hot Sauce. Try their signature ball kicker hot sauce inspired by the HBC Steve Spurrier and his famous kick in 1966. Appreciate everybody joining us. Have a great weekend. We'll see you on Monday.